Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about how to actually make your Kindle highlights useful. Or if you already know about products such as readvoice.io, then how to basically create something similar to that using Google Sheets for free. So everyone takes a lot of Kindle highlights, everything we find important in a book we do highlight, but we don't really think about them ever again. We never revisit them. At least that is true for me, and I'm sure that is true for most of the people, if not all. There are some other ways to do it, like you can export it to Evernote or any other note taking app of your choice, and then create a knowledge graph and review them regularly. But that is just too much work, and I don't think everyone is going to do it. A much easier way, which requires very limited effort, is to create a system which will email you a random highlight from any of the book that you have ever read, and that will keep the book in your memory for a long time, and forever as well. Why not, perhaps? So how are we going to do it? We are going to do it, so there are services like readvoice.io that will do it for you. They'll manage everything, but they are paid service and it costs like $2 or $3 a month. If you don't want to pay that much amount, you can actually do it for free in just 2 minutes. So first thing we have to do is import the Kindle highlights into your computer, then upload them to a Google Sheet, then create a app script that will actually send out these emails containing the Kindle highlight to you every day. And then of course you will have to update this sheet every few months, but let's come back to that later, right? So let me just show you how we'll actually go about doing it. So this is the Kindle Made software. It is available for Windows for free. Uh, to use this, you will have to connect your Kindle to the computer via USB. And once you do that, you can click here. And once the Kindle is connected, it will import all of the content, all of the highlights that you have ever taken. Once you're done with that, you can export all of this in an Excel file. So the default is text option, but you can go to Microsoft Excel and export it here, something like this. Once you have done with your Kindle export, this is how your sheet will actually look like. You can either, of course, copy like this from here to a empty Google Sheet, or you can always directly import the Excel file into Google Drive and go from there. Let me just name this thing Google email. And once you're done with this, you have the data in the Google Sheets. You just have to create this trigger that will email you every day about your Kindle highlight. So we are going to use Google App Scripts, which is similar to what macros are for Microsoft products, and this is will basically automate anything involving Sheets, Gmail, Slides, in and everything else in the Google suite for that matter. So you have a app script project, and we are going to just copy this code, which I will link in the description below. You just have to copy this code and paste it in the code.js file. You can control S to save it, and you have to give it some name. Call it Kindle. Another thing you'll have to save is the, so this file actually contains the logic of taking a random highlight and emailing that to you. Another file that we need is actually the format for the email. So we'll create this file called email.html. Again, I have the code here, which will be available in the video description. And again, you control S to save it. So this send email function actually takes your email, which you will update here, and your name if you want to be greeted in the email, and it will send this email. Now what we have to do is create a trigger that will run this function every day at 8 o'clock at night, let's say. So we are going to run this create trigger function. Create trigger function basically says that it will send the email at every 8 p.m. every one day, that is every day, and I'm doing it in my own time zone. So once you run this trigger, it will ask you for a bunch of permission because this is being treated as a separate app for the G Suite. And because this is not from a very authentic third party app store, it is going to tell you that it is an unknown, it isn't a verified app because Google haven't really verified it. And it will ask you for all your permissions, and you'll of course have to give all the permissions for it to work. And once that is done, that is it. You are basically set. Every day at 8 o'clock, actually between 8 and 9 p.m., you will receive an email, something like this, which will describe the book and the highlight that you have made. And it's actually pretty helpful to me. You can always go to edit and current projects trigger to ensure that the trigger is created. And you can say that, okay, we are running the send email function between 8 to 9 every day. And that is it. Uh, about the update. So this is a manual process, although it takes like 2-3 minutes to set up. There is no way to update the Kindle highlights automatically from your Kindle to the Google Sheet. So you will have to do it, say, update the Google Sheet, this Google Sheet, after say every 5-10 books that you read to have the new highlights in here. But you don't have to change anything else. What you'll have to do whenever you want to update or add new highlights to your file is refresh the Kindle Mint, get a new Excel, and paste the new Excel here. That's it. And that takes like 2 minutes, and you'll probably have to do it once every 6 months, not more than that. So yeah, that is 1-2 minutes every 6 months is a good time to spend on actually getting email every day about your Kindle highlights, right? So hopefully that was helpful. Leave comments about any questions or any doubts you have about the process, or if you have any ways to make this thing even better for everyone else. Thanks guys.